wasn't resting, we had someone come in to see the apartment. Hopa. And Hopa is being so barky today. She keeps barking and barking and barking and barking. And I'm sorry, it's just like she's driving me crazy. She's driving me crazy. Yes. Yeah. Are you seeing this? Why, thank you. What the heck? And Hopa, you're driving me crazy. I'm just saying. What did you do with your lip? Puka. Anyway, so she keeps screaming at me. I can't put her down without her starting to scream. Yeah, so today we are probably gonna have a shorter live just because I started so much later than anticipated. So probably a lot of people who usually watch the stream are gonna be going to bed. But I couldn't have started earlier. Pika, please stop crying. You're driving me crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Don't even. Papa. Gonna have to. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get her. Come on. Easy. God. She's so heavy. Anyway, so it's still hot. We're really tired. You lost your bank card. Did you block it? You should. If you haven't yet. But yes. What? I have like a couple of things that I wrote down as like things that happened from this week. But one of them I already kind of addressed, and I don't want to be talking about it anymore because I got so fucking annoyed. Can we make a cult? A cult? You know, are you seeing this? Like, what the hell? Anyway, so it's still really fucking hot. This is why my hair is wet. Again. I need you to stop crying though when you're jumping off of me. Do you understand that? God, it's just ridiculous. Did you hear about that Saint Satine thing? I have, but like, why does anybody care about Saint Satine? It's just another hype group, right? I just don't understand why anybody gives a fuck. Like, one girl left. Okay. But like, that group hasn't even debuted. So is anyone gonna even fucking notice? Like, am I wrong? Jesus. Pika. Yeah. The thing that I heard, I don't think, honestly, not about Saint Satine even, but things that I like wrote down. One of them was this TikTok of this woman who basically just kind of mentioned on her TikTok that she needs like a second full-time job to make ends meet. And like, sure, that's a topic, but also we kind of covered it multiple times, so I don't want to be rehashing the same things over and over and over again. So, Hopa, no. She's driving me crazy. She's driving me absolutely up the wall. No, Pika. Anyway, did you like the band or something? Not the band, the group, I guess. Like, what were they up to? Oh my god. Okay, one sec. you'd think she's crying because she's like sad and whatnot. No, no. She is just manipulating. That's what she's doing recently as a little baby that is an old baby now. She knows that I can't say no to her because she's like, her eyes are kind of, she's getting old. Her eyes are not working as well. Her ears are not working as well. She's like, get sick here and there and whatever. And now she knows that I'm like afraid to be too strict. So she's like really using it. Oh my god, your dog is looking for another dog because of Pika. Pika, do you understand what you've done? You're making everyone worried. And also, it's obviously really, really hot too. Hoppa, I need you to stop taking things off of me, for the love of God. Actually, no, but I'm low-key Emily fan, so that's... Ah! How do you even know about them? Like, about them individually? They were, like, on some kind of show or whatever? Oh, hi, empty. What the heck? Oh my god. Pika, 1,000-yard stare. I think she's, like, really tired from the heat. I'm tired too, dude. Yes, but I can't let you... This is impossible, dude. She's just a 117 years old baby. Yeah. Did you scare everyone again? No, she didn't scare everyone. But she keeps crying as if it's the end of the world. She's like really upset about something. And it's just the door is closed. And she's acting like everyone's being really rude and mean to her. Do you know what I mean? Dude, it's literally like 35 degrees inside my house. Oh. They were on Dream Academy and Emily... No. Here in France, the temperatures are finally bearable. We even had rain today. Oh, how hot is it today? Or how warm is it today in France? Oh, thank God. She got let out. I swear to God, you guys, I can't do it anymore. Like, she's just driving me up the wall today. You can go back a little bit. She was here for a bit. She's just clingy little teeny tiny baby. That's the thing. She's not even that clingy. She's just like... Dude, I don't know. She thinks that now that she's like 11, she's acting like I'm not an authority figure anymore to her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she used to treat me like a parent. She used to listen to me. And now she's like, whenever I tell her to do something, she gives me this look as if like, like, not your like tiny ass speaking in the presence of a grown woman. Like, she genuinely is treating me like she's the adult now. And I'm like, oh my God. Like... We're not expecting any rainstorm or anything, diva. She's like, the thing is, Pika is very chill with cats. She doesn't give a damn, like she's not gonna bother the cat. She's not gonna even come up to the cat. Any cat, for that matter. We used to have, like my roommate used to have a cat and they got along fine and everything. It's just my mom's cat is really mean. She's literally like, she hates everybody, okay? And I mean everybody. She tolerates my mom and my brother, just tolerates. And it's because she was with them since she was a baby. But she only tolerates them. She doesn't actually like give a fuck about them or like them, for that matter. I know they're like, oh yeah, no, she's still like, she likes me just because she lets my mom pet her sometimes. She never even like, and petting is like rich to say, considering what she allows. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like she became like an old lady. It's more like, it's less teen rebellion and more like not you talking. You're literally a child. Like, she's treating me like a child. She only listens to my mom now, and she used to not listen to my mom. It's like, I don't know. It's 22 degrees. Oh my God. I used to pray for temperatures like this. God. Diva. Like, I'm so serious. I want that weather so much. It's quite literally like 30 degrees every single day in Calgary, and it's third week of 30 degrees. It doesn't get cold. It doesn't like cool off at night anymore at all. Like, even when the air is starting to cool off to like 15 degrees at like 4 a.m., the beton, what is it in English? Goddamn. Asphalt? The basically the ground does not cool off efficiently enough. It literally radiates heat. Babushka Hopa. No, seriously. I'm straight up. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, she's acting like a babushka, and I'm like this annoying, petulant child that keeps telling her what to do. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Also, can you see how red I am? I quite literally can't take a walk outside without burning because the sun is so punishing. Ugh. Oh, beton. Beton. Oh my God, Lisa's like bad. Exactly. Oh, diva. Um. So yeah, what happened this week that's been on your mind? What would you like to discuss? Because the topics that I picked, I think I kind of pick something, and then by the time we get here, it's like maybe 3 days passes or so. Like, for the first topic, it's been 5 days. For the second topic, it's been 3 days. By this point, I have just kind of discussed it enough already that I don't want to be talking about it anymore. So I need you to tell me what you would like to talk about, because I don't want to be going into the same fucking thing for the thousandth time. And one of the topics is obviously fucking Zendaya, right? And I just don't want to be doing it anymore because I'm like, ugh, I got so tired of listening to fucking this either fake ass accounts or diaspora accounts of a bunch of people who are like, we should bomb Iran. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've heard enough. I got so annoyed. The thing is, there's this weird, like, social contract, not even construct, like, contract, actually, not construct, contract, where, oh yeah, the new song, I heard the new Tanashi song. Kind of fun. But I basically, there's this weird social contract between the audience and creators where everyone expects you to behave and to treat these conversations, these discussions, or whatever you post as something where not only do people like respond to it, obviously, like, that's normal, right, if you post online, but people think that you're supposed to respond to every single person to like to such an extent, and like have such long conversations with them, explaining everything, and also kind of acting as if you're apologetic all the time, and always being like, oh my God, if they call me a bigot, that means I'm a bigot. You know what I mean? Like, that, it's really, 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 really weird. Because I think it's like this attitude of like, because the thing is, okay, so my tweet about Zendaya's earrings got to about 85k likes and about 10,000 quote tweets, and then the pictures of Zendaya got like claimed, copyright claimed, so the tweet obviously doesn't have images anymore, so it kind of like tapered off. But obviously, because of that amount of engagement, there was a bunch of people who were like talking at me, right? And a lot of those who were like really pissed off at me, kind of being like, well, you don't even understand what it's like to use a VPN to talk to your family. Well, I'm a Russian. I do actually understand that, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? But regardless, they just kept on talking at me, right? But then there was also this weird attitude where if I were to respond, they have this entitlement to my time, as if there's just one fucking person talking at me, as if it's not literally 85,000 people who, like, okay, not 85,000, 10,000 people who were talking about what I said and like talking at me, right? So they have this attitude of like, well, if she doesn't respond to this respond of mine, that means that she is avoiding accountability or something. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You need to genuinely like get a grip because it's not like we're in real life and it's just the two of us and we're having a discussion, first and foremost. Second of all, so like I'm talking with multiple people at the same time, and honestly, I tweeted afterwards being like, if you're like from a diaspora and you're like being like a dick like that, you're like literally encouraging bombing of a place where you're from, whatever, and you're not even living there anymore. Like you're just a coward, and I don't want to be fucking talking to you. And they keep on talking to me, and I had to respond to one of them. I was like, bitch, what do you not understand? I told you not to fucking talk to me, ho. Like, do I look like I feel like a lot of people genuinely have this attitude as if I'm supposed to be nice back to them when they are hurling accusations at me. Do you know what I mean? It's like a really weird situation where people just kind of, because they, this whole influencer creator, like a media creator, whatever thing, has developed in such a hyper capitalist environment. A lot of people have this expectations and this like etiquette that developed around the conversation between the audience and the person who's creating things, that is quite literally like similar to the business and client relationship in not just in the West but specifically in America. You know, like how in Europe, I assume, based on what I know now, that a lot of European countries are kind of doing similar things. They kind of like borrowing things from America in terms of, for example, not allowing people to sit when they are scanning items at the checkout, right? Like we used to have seats in Europe, right? Many European countries are trying to take this like American kind of approach where you just have to like, you're standing the entire time, even though it's not doing anything. It's just kind of like this performance of extra labor just to make sure that the people who are buying stuff feel like you're not just working there, but you're somehow below everybody else and you don't have any like human functions and stuff. It's basically like really strange type of attitude that I don't quite understand. But I mean, I understand where it's coming from and I hate it. So basically, this kind of relationship between the influencer and the audience has been cultivated during the most of it was like solidified during the beauty guru era. And to this day, these mofos have the same attitude as if like I don't make money with this. I make a maximum of like $200 or some shit recently, at least, right? Like it obviously was different 2-3 years ago, and even then I wasn't making that much. It was never like a just I'm making so much fucking money or something, right? But the attitude that some people have is the same as when they're talking to James Charles, where as if I'm the type of creator who comes in here and like just peddles products or something like that, as if we're not having a conversation, as if I'm not like a personable kind of just person online, right? Instead of a James Charles. Like I feel like they have this weird etiquette that they picked up from that kind of conversations that people used to have, from that kind of attitude of like, let me talk at this person and kind of expect them to talk to me in a customer service tone. And it's like, you're talking to a person. Obviously, you guys understand that. I'm talking about like randoms who come into my page whenever something blows up, like accidentally. Hi, sisters. And wait.
It's like, no big deal. Like, sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
Let me finish it. Actually,
Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner.
yeah. So this attitude is like not very applicable for a type of creator that I am, because not only do I like, I try to be reasonable. Well, reasonable. What is reasonable when people just kind of expect you to keep peace, even when freaks like literal Nazis are talking to you? Why am I supposed to be keeping peace with them? Like, bitch, no, this is not like, what do you think this is? Do I look like a capital driven fucking parliament that loves to You know what? I'm not even gonna fucking finish that sentence. But I'm just saying, like, the attitude that they have, they're always responding to me like, and why would you even, why don't you talk about this? You are talking to me and you're bringing this up as if you're trying to blame this on me. And I'm like sitting there like, what the hell are you talking about? Also, who the fuck is making, can you guys hear that incessant beeping? Like, woo, woo, woo. If you can't, thank God. If you can, sorry. I just don't know what to do. Sweater. I had to rewind to see Pika crying on for attention. Oh my God, yes. I've heard sisters instead of sisters. You've heard sisters instead of sisters. Jumped out of my bed and got closer to my computer to look whose freaking name is Scissors here. Oh, Scissors. Do you want? I'm like, I've heard sisters instead of sisters. Whose name isn't Scissors in here, actually? Whose name isn't? At this fucking point. Wait, someone said something and I completely, like, I missed the topic. Oh, MT mentioned a Son Me song. It's a Nothing Burger. Yeah, I feel like, to me, I feel like Son Me kind of, she had like a pretty bad streak in terms of audience reception. In Korea specifically, when she gained just a little bit of weight, and that weight, she's always been extremely thin, right? So when she gained weight, she was extremely thin, but not to the point where you're like, oh, is she okay? Okay? Still very, very, very skinny, like underweight to an extreme. And even that kind of caused a lot of ripple effects. I feel like in terms of, I assume the way that she's been treated, like behind the scenes and stuff like that, I think, you know? So, wait. Oh, yeah. So this new song that she released, I don't know if you guys know Son Me or whatever, but this song is like, it's just cute, not memorable at all, which I feel like she should have been, maybe trying to lean into the diva aspect rather than the cute aspect. Like, even if she, like, for example, many people need to move on from the 80s shtick for a little bit, at least in terms of production. I think. Okay, bye, Omar. Yeah, she's fainted before too. When it was like, I think during Siren run. And the thing is, she's always been kind of like, on the cusp of like, you know, it's kind of hard for her to keep the artistry, I guess, while at the same time having to consistently keep up with the trends, because it is a K-pop machine. It's not like an art space. It's a business, and it does not, it doesn't lend itself to a lot of like artistic expression. So um I just feel like with her recent song and whatever, like I think maybe most of her comebacks now, I just feel like she's not in it the same way, not because of the performance. So her performances are amazing, her songs are great, like there some of them are just not as memorable, but they're still pretty good. It's mostly, I think, the support from her company. I feel like she's lacking support uh, in terms of like professional side of things. I didn't like Balloon in Love. I thought it was really boring. It's kind of the same thing as her July song right now. But I did like Heart Made. However, I thought it was like really. The rollout was really strange, in my opinion. I think she definitely is struggling from. Honestly, I think it's like K pop's ageism because since it's not artistic, like there's a lot of difficulty, I guess, to have people kind of engage in the same way because I think that like the trends have turned so childish that anyone who is not quite literally 12, and they are quite literally going for 12-year-olds debuting, right? If it's not some kind of like pedophilic shit, it's not performing well anymore. And a lot of the trends that became big after New Jeans and all the other groups like that ripped off their whole shtick, right? A lot of them became kind of I don't even know how to say that, but it's kind of like a lot of drum and bass still being the thing, right? So I'm pretty sure her current song, the one that she just released, "Son Me," right, is drum and bass, and it's like it's beaten into the ground, and definitely like at this point, the people in these fandoms that are really active, yeah, I think she just should have been counting on general public appeal. So making like bangers more a la Britney Spears, Lady Gaga type shit because she is at that point where like the marketing that K-pop does most and like really heavily leans into is this obsessive fan type of thing, which just doesn't work that well as soon as the artists are past 25. Not even because it's like, not because they're old or something, but because a lot of people who would be interested in them are growing out of that like level of obsession, right? So they're not making as much money and their companies become really, really difficult to work with. Did you hear about Long Shot, the song part of Louis, who was at the time like 14, are so sexual for him? Like it's so weird and everybody is supporting them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these people, they keep on debuting like children, and the trends are childish as well. So a lot of people like Sunmi are made to kind of lean into childishness a little bit too much, which I don't think that she's being childish or something, but the drum and bass, the way that it's been incorporated into K-pop is a little bit of that childish kind of thing, which unless you go full on kind of like Pink Panther is, where your lyrics are a little bit more explicit and you're a grown woman, it will have that childish kind of feeling, you know? And I don't know. I just think that, honestly, I have a feeling that Solmi is probably just not being supported professionally behind the scenes as much. Not in terms of like, oh, they don't promote her or whatever. No, I just mean that too. But I think it's mostly like them not giving her enough of that like belief from the professional side of things to create a little bit of a buffer between her and the public and the expectations and whatever. Like, for example, her album sold so few copies, but then it was sold out everywhere. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, how is it sold out everywhere? How few copies did you print that every single place is sold out? Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. But George Lionesses and divas. Oh my god.
My lioness. My lioness.
Artists also rarely have the same level of popularity for their whole career. Yeah, but that's also the thing. Like, it's kind of the same with shows, TV shows and stuff. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of new audiences, and a lot of us who remember shows being long running and like having actual content and having filler episodes, things like that. Many of us kind of look at this current state of affairs and just don't really see what the point of investing into something is. And I don't just mean in terms of money, I mean in terms of attention, right? Like, what's the point of kind of getting into a group and actually paying attention to their fucking lore and paying attention to their music and getting used to their styles of music if they're gonna be constantly chasing trends until their company just abandons them because they're not young enough? Like, what's the point? Because in that case, it's like, well, why would I buy their album? That group is not treated like an artistic project. So that means that if I pay attention to them, it's just going to be a waste, because at any point they can just be put away somewhere, put on a shelf, and disappear entirely. It's kind of like same with the shows now, where we know for a fact that even if a show gets renewed for season 2, the likelihood of it being renewed for season 3 is basically zero. Like, what is the point? What is the point? Because the thing is, it's also all shorter, right? So, like, for example, yeah, this group is gonna be, let's say it's active for 2 years, right? Before they disband, or not disband, but put on the shelf. Every single album is a mini album. The only song that's actually worth your attention is usually one B-side out of like 5 to 6 songs, and the title track. So at the end of those 2 years, you maybe have like a handful of actually good songs. Then with TV shows, it's like the same type of deal. What do you mean you need 2 years? 2 years to make 8 episodes, and then the show is only 2 seasons long before it got canceled? Most shows now survive a maximum of 2 seasons, and every single season is only like 8 episodes. So there's literally no content. Absolutely none. Filler is great in a lot of ways. I remember a YouTuber saying it lets the characters breathe and grow. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've said that before too in one of my deep dives, to be honest, because genuinely I think so as well. Hey divas, how is everyone? Toronto is shrouded in smoke and Canada is burning. But remember, we must cut the budget for wildfires. Thanks, Doug Ford. Not only cut the budget for wildfires. I don't know if you guys heard, but our Prime Minister Carney came here. By here I mean Calgary, because we had Stampede, and he came here being like, "Oh my God, Stampede! Let me put my cowboy hat on," and then he was parading around with fucking Danielle Smith, who's a literal traitor. By the way, what she's been up to in the past few years is a literal treason. Just so you guys know. And he's like talking about the pipeline or whatever. Diva, the pipeline? Canada just can't stop being cucked. I swear to God, like just constantly, like it's genuinely ridiculous. By the way, I like all the nonprofits in Vancouver, like many have to be renegotiating their contracts and stuff like that for rent, and a lot of the landlords, we don't have, turns out, that was news to me. Turns out there's only limits on how much you can raise rent per year when it comes to residential units. There is absolutely no control, no rent control when it comes to nonprofits. I'm not even talking about businesses. I mean nonprofits. Okay? So all of these like institutions that are funded by tax dollars and whatever are now renegotiating with private sector who are renting shit out to the nonprofit sector. And they are jacking up the price within 1 year by almost 15%. I don't understand why we were like having these conversations about like how we can afford it and whatever, like for like arts institutions, and I'm like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Why are we discussing this in a sense of like how should we have this, like how should we negotiate this how, not even negotiate, how should we like what should we do to be able to afford that, genuinely I don't understand why we're being so cucked. Like we're just, the cocketry is at a level that's ridiculous. Genuinely every single person who's not a capitalist in Canada, which by capitalist I mean like anyone who has capital. By what I mean, like capital is basically not your house, not your car, not your fucking summer house or some shit like that, some BS, not your fucking toothbrush. What I'm talking about is like you own, for example, a building with apartments and you're renting it out. So you're making money off of owning things. You don't actually make it, you actually don't work. You make money off of owning things and then allowing people to have access to those things for pay is what makes you money, right? So these mofos, Diva, I can't believe his name is Carney, like carnival people. I know. Oh, I started watching Buffy today. So strange to experience a lot of 40-minute episodes for 5+ seasons again. I know. Like immediately you're like, damn, they actually had time to have this little jokes and this kind of thing build up between the characters instead of it being something that people have to be filling in with like only fucking fan fiction. And the thing is, no shade at fan fiction. It's specifically the fact that you kind of have to have people be obsessed with a thing with zero content. Like they are basically looking for a unicorn. They want something that's going to captivate audiences enough so there would be a fandom. They want that fandom to fulfill the needs of the people when it comes to content, when it comes to stories and whatever, like offshoot stories, filler kind of thing. But how are you expecting a whole fucking fandom to be created around a show or a thing that basically has 8 hours of content combined? I just don't get it. It's fucking dumb. Anyway. Triple S are going to release after 2 months something new again. Like all the members are collapsing everywhere, but let's release more promotion. Oh my god. Yeah, and so basically, my question is why, considering that this is pretty normal to just go, you can't raise rent by more than 2% a year, for example, right? Which is already a lot considering that our wages are not raised every single year like this. For some people, for some office workers, sure. For most people, it's not. It's not for minimum wage, for example, right? But with these, you guys, can you imagine 15% raise within 1 year? How is that supposed to work exactly? Who's going to be in the city? They want the entirety of downtown Vancouver to be just empty, for real. And like not, they don't want it. They want to just like, they want everything to stay the same in terms of all the things that are functioning, like the coffee shops, the bars, the little galleries, the events that are created by people, local people who live there. But they somehow also want everyone to pay 15% more every single year. What is going on for real? And like, I just don't understand specifically the cocketry part. Like, at what point are we just going to go, actually, why are we supposed to be negotiating with a bunch of bought out capital bullshit in the government, even in the on the local stage, to have maybe perchance, perhaps some laws adjusted to be in favor of the people a little bit. Like the cocketry is crazy. Why can't we just walk in and be like, no, that's it. You can't raise it above this amount. This is the law now. Why do we have to be constantly? Because the thing is, this isn't profitable for anybody but people who are lobbying, people who have this money that they are sucking out of the people. They're quite literally making us live like slaves. And then they're like, maybe you should go through the proper channels. What the fuck are you talking about? Proper channels, my ass. What is that supposed to mean if the proper channels are there to serve you? Cities are the moneymakers for the country, yet governments act like they despise us and want us out of here for some reason. It's insane. No, it's literally, the thing is, we live in a dictatorship. We're living in a dictatorship of the bourgeois class. They are to like so ridiculous, and they are pumping out so much information that's making us hate our fellow proletariat people, that we quite literally look at each other and we keep fighting with each other about stupid shit when we're quite literally being dictated what to do, how to do it. The fact that, listen, quite literally, I am volunteering my time, for example, on the board of a gallery to make sure that it stays open, right? That there's someone that can do a bunch of work for free, basically, just so there are artist-run centers that can show new artist works or more subversive type of art and other things like that in the city. And those motherfuckers are day in and day out, they come back and they go, well, how about we raise rent for everybody who rents from our buildings? And they own all the buildings in the, like, on the street, for example, and they're like, so all of you are now paying 15% more. 15% more. And there's no laws protecting us from this? Interesting. It's like the entirety of all of this shit is made for these like absolute cunts, and I'm supposed to be also cute about it. You know what I hate the most about this is that you can't get involved in anything, in any kind of organizing and stuff like that, without consistently having to deal with a bunch of people who are so cucked. They're like, Lisa, we can't say it like that. We have to be like, we have to rephrase it. We have to do this way. Maybe we can negotiate for just like 5% of what we actually need to survive. And it's like, why are we negotiating? There's more of us than them, and they need us anyway, because they're not doing shit. They're not the ones who are actually making things work in the city. Who gives a shit? We could technically just kick them out of the office and put other people in just physically. It is like, I don't understand why they got so brazen with the people. They genuinely aren't afraid of anybody, because everyone, even within the same class, you would be talking to people who have the same interests as you, people who are suffering immensely from the climate change, from how hot it is, from how low the wages are, from how exploited we are, how little time we have to actually enjoy life or even have relationships with each other, have good friendships and stuff like that, just socializing, right? And those same people would be talking to you, and they would say something like, well, we have to just like, gather all of these like signatures, and then we'll go to them and we'll talk about this, and maybe on this hearing and this hearing. The bureaucracy is basically just extending the time so we don't arrive anywhere at any point. Do you understand what I mean? Like, every single thing is just, they're just stalling and stalling and stalling and stalling to the point where most people who are the most vulnerable just die. Because for example, I've told you about this. We've had this heat dome, right, in Vancouver. Turns out I thought it was like 300 people that died because of the heat dome when we had it, which was just like really hot weather, like concentrated. Now it's like such it's the norm this year. It's the norm. Many people are having heat domes. Like France had heat dome just now. So they basically, it turns out that during that heat dome that happened, 639 people died in Vancouver, just in one city. I thought it was 300, which was already horrifying to me, but 639, that's ridiculous. So after that, we had this like program rolled out where you could get maybe not rebates, but sometimes like you could put your AC unit in your taxes and get some of that money written off. For some people, right? For some people who are low income, you could get a unit if you like apply through proper channels, things like that, right? And we had cold kits, I think that's what they were called, something along those lines, where they would like provide you with some things that could be used to regulate your temperature, right? So what do you think this year, when the heat dome is not just a one-time thing anymore, it's going to be recurring now, these mofos are cutting funding in it. Ken Sim can suck my ass. Ken Sim is the only reason why that mofo won is because he had money to put advertisement everywhere. And people genuinely, like, if they see you enough, they will be more likely to vote for you, even if they don't understand anything about politics, even if they don't fucking know what they want and whatever, they will just vote for you. So that was the only reason. And also his fucking slogan was safer streets. And when you look at what he's actually suggesting, it's like, oh, more policemen, my brother. More policemen, my brother. I see you mofos do nothing. I see you standing around, coming up to homeless people that are just standing there, taking their backpack, going through it, 6 to 8 officers at once. Honey, what? Huh? Let me rename this. Anyway, so so many places sit out empty because rent is so expensive, but they refuse to lower it because it might affect their real estate value. They are literally losing money for future imaginary gains. Yeah. Quite literally. They also still, the government is like trying to pretend like the market is not crashing. They're still trying to like uphold this, this bullshit. That's why Carney tried to quite literally buy out a building that wasn't selling because no one was gonna buy it for that much because people don't have money. And he was like, the government, it's gonna step in. And the thing is, step in for what? To give breaks to corporations. Go fuck yourself. And also, why am I supposed to be so nice about it too? This is what's pissing me off too. Every single time I talk to somebody, they're like, well, don't say go fuck yourself. Why not? They quite literally, with their actions, with what they actually do, not bureaucratic nonsense, not just the speeches or something like that, with what they actually physically do, they make all of our families suffer. We have to watch our loved ones wither away, quite literally die, because we can't afford healthcare on time, right? Because they have defunded our healthcare. They are consistently redirecting our funds, consistently redirecting our taxes from things that are actually for us to things that are for things like Israel. And I'm supposed to be just chill about it. I'm supposed to be just chill. Yeah, all of my friends are suffering. Yes, all my family is suffering. Yes, I can't afford to do things for people around me to actually fix their problems that are honestly fixable if I just had the means to fix them. But you're right. I should be cute about it. Why wouldn't I be cute about it? Why can't I just come up and be like,
Sorry. I just wanted to say, Mr. County, maybe we can have a little bit of breads and circuses, please, Mr. County.
like, It's ridiculous. Genuinely, I was just sitting there like I'm hearing like people in the art sector, right? Like we're all like talking about this shit being like, okay, everyone's talking about how are we going to like afford this? How can we get more fundraising going? How can we get more grants? And I'm like, oh, so what you're suggesting, what you're suggesting is instead of going to people and being like, people, this is like none of us can afford this. They're all extorting us. They're extorting the public because we are a non-profit. We are working for basically nothing. I'm working for nothing, but most other people have very low wages in this industry because it's a non-profit industry. To make sure that there's culture in this goddamn city, to make sure that there are places where people who are like who have kids, they can go somewhere and have their kids participate, learn how to make art, to like, you know, develop their brains and stuff like that, to raise the next generation that's going to be, you know, taking care of us when we're fucking old. And I don't mean like personally or something like that, but it's just like they're gonna be in the workforce when we're gonna be already retired, right? And this mofo is like genuinely, I don't understand. Actually, I understand everything perfectly. I understand that this is just like capitalism, and honestly, it needs to be nerfed. Pika. Заходи. Заходи, моя хорошенькая. Моё солнышко. Okay. So, what the fuck was I on? Yeah, and then seeing that basically they want us to redirect all the money from the community, not into actually getting more things done or whatever, just to sustain like having your doors open. They want us to extort, to fundraise, right? What are we like, how is that fair? How is that fair? Where are we supposed to be getting 15% more per year? Just because you decided that your property, just the space that it exists, that you bought back in the day when you enslaved people and you were profiting off of that. Somehow, we're supposed to be closing that gap by getting more money from the public. The public is already the reason why we even have anything. The roads, the infrastructure, we are the ones paying the fucking taxes. I need people to understand. People who are like constantly complaining about taxes, but then they are constantly talking about privatizing everything. Bitch, what do you think? Like, everything has been built by us. This is ours, not somebody's, not one individual. It's like you have to be so cucked to literally pay your taxes every year, to do all this shit, you know, to complain about this and that or whatever the fuck. But in reality, consistently supporting these people in the government that are redirecting our money into private pockets and then being mad at people who are actually trying to stop it. You have got to be like, when do you get off being pathetic? When do you hop off that corporate dick? Like, genuinely, when do you go, I think that's enough, I'm sore actually. Like, when do you stop? It's ridiculous. Ugh. It's so weird to see people voting for whoever they see the most ads of. Like, at least go ask friends with your views if you aren't gonna research for yourself. Yeah, but that's the thing. People go and ask their friends, and their friends say the same thing, right? It's people like, this is the reason why they give us so much, for example, work to do. Because if you're working this many hours a week and you sleep so little, you try to keep up with social expectations of like being a successful person. So you're like, oh, I need to have this type of relationship by this time or whatever the fuck. Everyone is spending so much energy on all these things, they don't have the energy to pay attention to what they're doing. I think the World Cup ended. I think. FIFA is openly corrupted, but also like I've told you recently, I was looking at this university in Venice. It was like a architecture school that also had a curation program. So I'm looking at it. I look at who's leading it, whatever, who's teaching there, and I realized that that university is participating in rebuilding Gaza efforts. You look into what they mean by that. You'd think, because they're trying to frame it as like some kind of charitable bullshit, right? You'd think they mean that they are rebuilding roads, infrastructure, fucking hospitals, something, right? And then you go and you look at what they mean, and what they mean by that is that they are building a FIFA stadium on top of all those bodies that they just buried there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, how charming. How wonderful, actually. Who doesn't fucking love that? Argentina versus Spain, girl, racists versus colonizers. We won't be streaming. Yeah, but I mean, like, Argentina is just like, don't even start me on Argentina. Come on. Also, sometimes you want to talk to your friends about it, and people around you will be like, I don't want to talk about politics. Politics sucks. It's all on purpose, I think. Yeah, because we're tired, right? I can't blame them because I'm like, on a human level, I understand it. On a level of somebody who pays attention to global and local politics, I'm frustrated because I understand that we are in a horrible state and genuinely we should be the ones calling the shots. It should be the dictatorship of the proletariat, quite literally. But we're in a situation where I'm like, I can't even be mad at them because it's like, shit, they're working their entire lives away. All of them are stressed as hell. All of them are sick as hell. All of them are sleep deprived as hell. Even just sleep deprivation makes you into such a different version of yourself that I don't have it in me to jump them over it. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel for you because I feel the same way. And my field, the arts field, is literally in the humanities wing. It's part of my job to be aware of all those things, right? And I'm tired. How much are those people are tired from constantly being like, dude, like, this is a crisis, we need to do something, when they just came back from a 12-hour shift as a nurse? Because 12-hour shifts or 24-hour shifts have become something normalized by the medical system, which is insanity. I saw those videos of like French nurses, and it was like, oh, all the nurses before 24-hour shift and after 24-hour shift, right? I've mentioned this before, we have talked about it. I think it's like absolutely horrific, but just imagine this is the type of people that you're talking to, right? These are the people that have to read consistently, like keep up with the medical research, with the updates and everything, right? At least those of them who are very responsible when it comes to their jobs and whatever. And I can't expect them to do the same amount of research in the politics sector that I have to do, or like not the politics sector, but the arts sector, the theory sector, and whatever. We all have our own jobs and own like areas of expertise. So I can't be mad at them for that, but I am mad about the fact that when they're so unwilling to look to like reframe their thinking specifically to look at things from a material perspective, you know? Like, the government told you that we can't feed everyone, someone's gonna have to go hungry. But the statistics, the evidence, you just even anecdotal evidence, just you walking on the street seeing how much food is being thrown out at the end of the day at a restaurant nearby, we all know that that's bullshit. So if everyone who's in all of those lines of work were to actually pay attention to what's going on around them, in terms of, like, if someone tells you this group of people is at fault, are they though? Look at the stats. Compare them. Statistics is going to actually give you something. And I mean, I understand that they can't be constantly looking this shit up and whatever. It's like there's just so much money in far right especially in the West. There's so much money in it, so much money in it, to the point where to them, because they have all that access, they have all this money, they have all these people they can pay to have this, like, all the things that they need to do to be like spread over a bunch of people, to the point where you don't have to be working as hard, right? This type of access and excess is making it so leisurely for them to have a very present, organized core. The reason why it's always so difficult to actually have anyone do anything and get anything accomplished when it comes to like real leftism is because those are regular people that are literally driven into the ground, like absolutely brought to their knees because of their material conditions. And it's hard to get people to go and actually like demand something until they can't, like, until it's basically like they have nothing, so they don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm always like, God, it's gonna be fucking carnage. Like, because the thing is, people are not gonna do shit. They're gonna be cucked as fuck, especially in Canada, because Canadians are very, like, just so meek. It's crazy. They will do anything. Like, they will just follow whatever America is doing, and they wouldn't give a flying fuck, you know? This meekness is bad. It's not going to lead to anything good, Diva. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But it's like... it's like no one wants to actually, risk it until there's basically no choice. I scratched myself. Fuck. And I think the reason why they're kind of getting really antsy, and the reason why, for example, Trump is constantly talking about like, oh, no communism, we're gonna get you if you're a communist. The reason why they're so scared is because clearly the new generation, there's I don't know if you guys seen the stats of unemployment, but the unemployment and underemployment is really high in the 18 to 34 bracket, which is adults, young, energetic. Even if they got some kind of bullshit from COVID and whatever the fuck, they're still not going to be got for another 10 years. This is a very dangerous group to have with nothing. This is a very dangerous group. This is why they're kind of like always so screaming about, you know, like the male loneliness epidemic, and why they're trying to remove access to abortions and stuff like that. They really want this generation from 18 to 34, this bracket of people, to get tied down with something. If you don't have kids, you are a lot more likely to do things that need to be done, instead of being like, well, shit, I'm kind of responsible for someone else. I can't be making these decisions because I'm not making decisions just for my life. I'm making decisions for multiple lives. So they're kind of getting really scared because they don't want to give that wealth that they have stolen from that generation back. They don't want to be giving it back. But they are in a situation where you have a strong, energetic portion of the population unemployed and underemployed. As far as I know, the statistics are up in the 30 percentile in terms of people who are unemployed or underemployed right now. So,
Bye, Jelly.
wait, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Probably one of the reasons why Doug Ford won, the media here in Ontario almost never talks about the Liberals. As for the NDP, who are they, said the media. I don't think, like, NDP and Liberals are straight up right wing. Sorry to say. It's just how it is. Because the thing is, politics is not just LGBTQ plus rights or women's rights. It's a big part of it, at least for me, because to me that's important, right? And I think it should be important to everyone. But it's not the only thing that determines where you are on the political spectrum. The West has decided to just absolutely trick all of their people into thinking that politics is all about whether you're pro LGBTQ or against it. Because they want you to be fighting about this stupid shit while both parties are technically emptying your pockets and making you poor as shit to the point where you're literally dying in the streets. The situation is dire. We can't be fucking like this needs to be remedied. Also, no hate towards the players. They did nothing wrong. It's just the system around them is corrupted. Yeah, I don't care about FIFA at all. Like when I lived outside my hometown and it was time to vote for city council, I asked my parents who live there and know who's who. Oh, yeah. My city is a dormitory city where everyone leaves early to work somewhere else, comes back at night, and don't engage at all locally. There are no jobs here. Like, how do we choose a mayor? We're out. One of the biggest issues with nurses and healthcare staff working so many hours is that errors increase exponentially with each passing hour. Exactly. No, straight up. I don't understand why they're doing that. It's so weird that I've never questioned a third working system, 24-hour work, before you mentioned it, and my mom is a nurse. Like, yeah, why the fuck do they need to work for so long? Literally no reason. No reason, dude. You could just schedule more people to rotate. Like, it genuinely makes absolutely no sense. She's been a head nurse for like 20 years with regular working hours, so maybe that's why I didn't question that, but still. And when I was little, I just didn't think of that at all. The late anthropologist David Graeber talks about this in his book Bullshit Jobs, making the exploited proletariat too exhausted to protest with 60-hour work weeks and saddling them with debt. Exactly. You don't even have to, like, honestly, no one even needs to read those books to just, like, look around and be like, we can't even see our friends. And the thing is, many people, like, if you have the money to do this and that and whatever and the third, good for you. But if you can't work for a month, would you still have where to live without other people's help? Without other people, like your parents or someone paying for it? Because you're supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to be able to still not live on the streets just because you're sick. I hope Mumdani will be the new example for politics. Maybe we can go to socialism fully, but would have been nice to have like mini socialism oasis like in ancient Greece. I think we should just go and take it. I don't think this should be a gradual thing, because why are we negotiating over our existence? Why am I supposed to be like, I was sitting just like thinking about it. I'm like, God, everyone I know is fucking miserable because everyone has a family member who's dying from something that they wouldn't be dying from if they actually had the money to buy that machine that they needed to breathe at night, or to buy that medication when they started to get sick, other things like that. We all have people around us who are suffering from things like asthma and other things like that, and they're having a really hard time because the allergens and the amount of fucking smoke in the air is getting so bad. We're all feeling this heat, how hard it is to continue to work during this fucking heat. And we're all seeing this shit, and yet everyone's like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. Why not? Genuinely explain that to me. What is the point of living like a little bitch? Do you like that? Do you like living like a little bitch? Is that like what is going on? And the thing is, the most annoying part is that like, so many, I think that it's just kind of like, I'm gonna tell you for real, like, you get death breathing on your neck for a little bit, and you're not going to have any more patience to be a cuck to these assholes. I don't think we should be like, can we maybe vote in somebody who could be like a social democrat? Like, can we have someone who's actually centrist? Because the thing is, social democrats are centrist at best. This is you basically being like, yeah, I think socialism is actually how we should be living, but I'm going to give all those people who are like the slave owners, ex-slave owners, stuff like that, I'm gonna give them room to still participate in democracy. Oh, so the people who have been undermining it this entire time, building the entire system to basically make it work so no one can live well except for the few, you want to keep them around and give them the opportunity to consistently undermine your efforts. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. Fuck it. Honestly, fuck all of us just for the sake of fucking Elon Musk having his rights. Genuinely, what are we doing? Huh. Tucker Carlson, the impression. That's how it works now. Huh. Settling them with debt from the beginning. Also, he talks about how Keynes predicted 15-hour work weeks for the year 2030, but now the opposite deliberately happened under the bourgeois class. Yeah, they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. And God, they make me sick. The fucking, like, they're all freaks. Hi, Cosmo. I went to nursing school during COVID here in Toronto, and it literally was, the most depressing shit ever. After I graduated, I decided that I couldn't be a nurse because they worked to the bone. The healthcare system sustains itself by the kindness, compliance, and patience of its workers. Exactly. And it's like, we should be actually, like, that should be our priority. Making sure that people can sustain having this career, that it doesn't take a toll on their health and things like that, instead of this nonsense. I like Mamdani's policies, but he'll shake hands and sing alongside Obama, the war criminal. We can't vote our way out of fascism. Yeah, we can't. The thing is, whenever people talk to me about this and they're like, well, we can do this way, we can vote, whatever. I'm like, Diva, I thought so too. But then I decided, let me look at every single place that tried to actually do something. Because the thing is, people have been trying. It's not like people are all stupid and no one's trying to do anything and all of us are this and that. The thing is, the reason why you're even fed this information and why you think so is because this way you basically have everyone thinking that everyone else is stupid, so no one's actually going to cooperate together, right? So, what you get in this situation, whenever there's a couple of things that always happen when people try to incrementally get something, right? If you are staying within the same system, the system itself was built by people who were enslaving others, right? So who are those people and what kind of views did they have? They, like, Kant, or was it Kant? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Kant. He quite literally was talking about equality has been like the foundational philosopher that talks about dignity and equality of all people. But who did he think was a person? Ah, the whites? Yeah, right. And males? Yeah, right. And the heteros, you know? So technically, yes, he believed in equality. But our definition of who is a human is different. So it doesn't matter that he believes in equality because his belief is fundamentally excluding people. And those are the people who build these systems that we're living under. These are the people who have put this shit together. Do you seriously think that this system is going to be functioning in a way that would be beneficial for all? No. Oh my God. fucking the US is changing the duties again. Every 2 business days they're doing this dumbass shit, I swear to God. Anyway, such a name for such a shitty person. Rude, actually. Not cunty at all. I know, right? It's also, it's like 1920s. The cycle continues again. The only way to deal with these people is, yeah. Because the thing is, again, what I'm expecting is going to happen next, okay? First and foremost, you're going to keep hearing every single person who's going to be getting attention on the left as someone, like as a speaker, as someone who is specifically working as not even an activist, but a revolutionary. Like, that's their job, right? To actually bring this shit forward and actually get it done. You're going to see that everyone, there's going to be a lot of people who are from the same side, from the same side, who are going to be consistently trying to tarnish the reputation of that person by using identity politics. Not because identity politics isn't important. I'm not saying that. It is important. It does influence a lot of things. But they're going to be stalling any progress by being like, but you know, he's like kind of misogynistic. And you're like, kind of how? And they would be like, well, he said this vague thing and whatever the fuck. And it's like, okay, well, right now our interests are aligning, but they're going to basically continuously do this. And also what I'm expecting to happen next right now, considering that the new generation is sick and tired of this bullshit. Genuinely, there are so many people who are miserable right now. A thing definitely is going to happen. You know, it doesn't matter how much Trump is going to be whining and yapping and being a little bitch about communism. Definitely something's going to be up. Basically, what they're going to try and do is repeat their old tricks. They always do the same thing, right? For example, they find people who already talk about something that's beneficial for them, and then they kind of make them really popular by putting them everywhere, right? They usually don't even contact those people. Those people don't even know that they are being used as a pawn. This is all, honestly, if you guys are interested in this type of thing and you just want to kind of like notice these moves that are being made or whatever, you can just go to the US archives website and go look at CIA documents that they have declassified. They have not come up with new tricks at all. They just adapted them to the internet and stuff like that. But the tricks are very, very, very similar. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. Exactly. Because that's the thing. This is why America still has this issue with, for example, so much white supremacy and stuff like that. It's because you didn't kill them. You didn't jail them. You didn't take all their shit and redistribute it to people who actually created that wealth. So of course, if materially nothing changed, only the titles and like kind of the laws changed, of course nothing's gonna happen. Of course nothing's gonna get fixed. When I was a kid, me and my brother would like to talk about stuff like politics and death, your normal stuff. I assume you mean thought, that if you die, you become an angel, like angel in cartoon, angel friends. And that, we would talk about presidents and think that Putin was the only one. Long before active propaganda in school, before war, he was indeed popular. He was popular because he kind of not cleaned up, but kind of ended the 90s terror thing. So he became popular because of that. Because it was like literally like lawless shit. It was the Wild West. So, listen, the thing is, I really hope it's different now. I don't know. But a lot of like apathy was what I was kind of running into when I was back home. And I myself didn't know anything about politics, so I wasn't like understanding what was going on. However, I think they're kind of counting on the fact that a lot of people don't know our own history and don't know, the new generation doesn't know Marxism, doesn't know it well, at least, right? Like there's still people who do, obviously. The Communist Party is like the second biggest party in Russia right now. However, what's ridiculous is that you would get kind of like people who understand the economic parts, but they don't understand the entirety of the thing. They don't understand how there's a lot of ethical and philosophical things that are going to have to go hand in hand with this ideology, right? So, for example, Putin was talking to, like, I think, was it Xi Jinping? I think so. He was like talking to him, being like, yeah, like I really regret that, the Soviet Union was dissolved or whatever. I'm like, first of all, you were there. Why didn't you do shit? Where were you in 92, brother? Vladimir Vladimirovich, But second of all, next clip I see, the thing is, I don't keep up with Russian politics as much because I have my plate full with the Canadian bullshit, and I have to be dealing with it because I live here and I have, like, it affects me, right? So I'm not like keeping up with that much. But the next clip I see is him being like, yeah, women should not prioritize getting education. Actually, they shouldn't even get like higher education. They should be given birth or whatever. And I was like, are you dumb? Are we on stupid hours? Were you born yesterday? Because I'm pretty sure you were fucking born in the Union, actually. So explain to me, brother, how that's supposed to work. How are you talking about missing the Union, the socialist state that we had, and in the same breath you dare to say something as misogynistic as that? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Did you never read Lenin? A fucking politician who went to the same school as him. You never read Lenin? What's happening here? Like, because the thing is, you're just like, he's just saying anything because he can, because nobody knows better. That's my opinion, honestly, because how else do you just like explain this bullshit? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? He misses fucking socialist state, but he thinks women shouldn't be going to school. Are you whatever? So yes, that we've reached a point where it's unstable and we can't continue to tolerate this BS anymore. It's like running in a fucking circle. Exactly. Did you watch the documentary that just won last year's Oscars, Mr. Nobody Against Putin? Okay, so I did not watch it because I'm gonna give you the reason, okay? First and foremost, I'm sure there's a bunch of bullshit going on with the schooling system and whatever. For those people who are constantly like, well, actually, it's like this is bad. Yeah, no fucking shit. It's a capitalist state of a massive country that has a shit ton of resources that were quite literally sold off for 50 kopeka, which is like cents, in the 90s, because someone was holding a barrel of a gun to someone's head and being like, you either give it to me for literally nothing, this entire like oil industry, or I kill you. Right? He was Sobchak's assistant, basically no one. Nemtsov was Yeltsin's OG prodigy, and we know what happened to him. Wait, who was Sobchak's assistant? I'm confused. who else, and what if the next person will be worse? People still everywhere. Like, I get the fear of the unknown, but could it be worse, really? It could be worse. We could be living in the same situation as Syria is, as Ukraine is, and stuff like that, right? One thing that I'll give him is that he is refusing to not be the czar of his own fucking palace, which does keep out the barbarians from the West. However, that doesn't help that much when the entirety of the, like, honestly, we just can't, like, none of us, none of the countries in the world, none of us will be able to survive if we stay capitalist. There's no way. There's no way. So it doesn't matter whether they're like what he does, because the system that we implemented after 92 is a fuck ass system of what is his name? Fucking Uncle Tom. Is that what they call it? Uncle Tommy? Uncle Sammy. Uncle Sam? Fuck. Uncle Sam. You get it. The whole shtick of like just the bourgeois class and everything, like, we can't be living alongside trillionaires and think that something's gonna happen. I don't think he alone is the reason for anything. Putin was Sobchak's assistant. Oh, okay. See, I don't think, obviously he, like, I don't know his life. He might be high, like, he has a lot of fucking influence. He has little influence. It doesn't matter to me, because overall, one person does not constitute a system. And my problem is with the system, and not that it's corrupt or something. It's actually functioning exactly how it's supposed to function. I don't like the system together, overall. It's not building a future, it's actually tearing it down. Do you know what I mean? Uncle Sam. Anyway, so with Mr. Nobody, what is it? Mr. Nobody something, wait. Mr. Nobody against Putin here. So, fun fact. I met this, I have to tell you this story at some point, maybe at one of the therapy speaks. I don't know. I hope they don't see that. I hope no one who I'm talking about on therapy speaks sees it, but I met two guys who, like, this gay couple, this Russian gay couple. He had a son with this Canadian woman. They've been here for a while. I think that they moved probably somewhere in the 2000s, something like that. Through talking to them, they were trying to kind of set me up with their son. We'll get to it. I did not realize it. Again, me being oblivious the entire time, I was not getting it. I was like, ooh, you know, two Russian gay dads, like, that's fun. I did not realize that I'm talking to somebody who came from basically privatizing the tobacco industry in the 90s. At least maybe his dad did it or something, or mom, whatever. So those are, I don't know how big of a fish they are. I don't know whether they're like oligarchs or whether just oligarch light. But those bitches rich for a very specific reason. I don't know the details of it because I never called them out on it or something like that, because I realized it later from context clues. We never actually had like a full conversation when they just like straight up told me, yeah, we fucking did that. Do you know what I mean? Now, why I'm bringing them up? It's because they're friends with the director of Mr. Nobody versus Putin. Oh, because I've mentioned it before, Diva. I'm sure I've mentioned it before. I just never told the entire story. I just kind of mentioned it sometimes, but I've never like gotten through the entire thing. Have you ever heard of the book Empire of AI? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know. I don't remember much, to be honest, about, like, the name does Yeah, it remind me of something. Diet oligarch. I don't know if they are. Табачный барон. Probably. Yeah, but regardless, they're friends with this dude. And after he won the Oscar, I think that they're like in Paris now, and they live right by Eiffel Tower. Of course they do. Of course they do. Once again, there are different types of Slavic people you're gonna meet in the West. Those ones that don't know what the fuck is up, kind of liberal pilled, but still right wing, because liberals are right wing, right? They don't understand politics much. They just understand the LGBTQ plus things because they might be LGBTQ plus themselves, but they don't understand the intricacies of politics and why things happen the way that they do. Now, out of them, there would be some that are oligarchs and then some that are regular people. I can get along with regular people of all types, even those ones that don't know what the fuck is up and what the fuck is down, you know? However, the oligarch kind, you'll meet most of them in LA and New York. All over Europe as well, but goddamn do they love to stick to fucking LA. London too. Like, those people, we have nothing in common. Actually, they're my biggest ops because I know where your parents were in 92 and I got a few questions and actually a few metal prepositions, if you understanding what I'm putting down. Regardless, so they're buddies, okay, with that dude. So I saw them hanging out. They're like keep on hanging out in Paris, just like doing like exhibitions, art stuff, whatever. Honestly, they should maybe go get a degree or something because clearly they don't know what the fuck is up with contemporary art, sorry to say. But on top of it all, just seeing them hanging around, like drinking their champagne, yada yada yada, and I'm like, God, like they're profiting off of this faux rebellious persona when in reality they are on the same side. They're on the side of the capital. Do you understand what I mean? Like, these oligarchs, just because they made this documentary, or like this guy made this documentary, now he's gallivanting around Europe with a bunch of oligarchs. He is not an activist or someone who gives a fuck. He gives a fuck that he can't do whatever the fuck he wants. Like he can't travel or maybe move his money in and out of the country as easily and stuff like that. Like selfish shit. But he doesn't give a fuck what happens with the Russian people. He doesn't give a fuck what happens with people outside of Russia either. Hi, Melita. Kind of a trip, honestly, to be seeing those dudes that I almost became tied to in terms of being in one family. Well, I didn't, obviously, because I was not into their son, but to see them gallivanting around, living like right next to a fucking Eiffel Tower, drinking champagne day in and day out without director that won an Oscar, when you know for a fact they're fucking oligarchs. Ew. Ew. You know, it's like it's like there's so many levels of this shit where you kind of go like, oh, like, you know, you first you kind of get I guess maybe you start to notice things in your country, right? When you're a kid. And then you start to think about it again, and then you move, you start to learn things, you keep on running into this shit because at first you assume that it's like your country that's wrong. Then you realize the other one is also wrong. Let me just block somebody real quick. There was someone really, really creepy in chat. Crazy stories. No, seriously, it's kind of nuts, eh? That's why my response is basically no, I haven't seen the documentary. I'm sure like even if like I honestly don't know a lot about it. I've heard some things about it. But regardless of whether it is like exposing something or not exposing something, I don't like that he's buddies with oligarchs. I don't think he's doing anything. If America gives you an Oscar, or if you get a Nobel Prize for like peacemaking or something like that, I just don't think that you've been doing peace, brother, because Trump has gotten that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got no regard for accolades, and I don't mean specifically just Circassian surname? Circassian. Wait. Not me trying to find how it's spelled, what it is in Russian, because I don't understand it in English. Oh, I see. I looked at the map. Okay. Got it. What the fuck? Yeah, see, that's the thing. You know, they try to be like, oh, they're like minorities in Russia, whatever. Yeah, obviously. But also, like, we're not gonna get anywhere if we don't have a system where everyone can have a roof over their head, food. Because the thing is, the point is not to have somebody else represent all those minorities or whatever, because they're so well educated on everything. The point is that all of those minorities are also like have the same opportunities so they can actually participate in it fully. Exactly. There's still the establishment and not revolutionaries because they don't try to overthrow capitalist hegemony. Exactly. God, capitalist pigs make me nauseous. Same. Charlie Boy's family owns most of the land in England. I mean, totally normal behavior. Dude, tell me why in my city, deep in Siberia, explain to me why why some British mofo owns the hydroelectric plant next to, like, that's in my city. Since when? Since the 90s, of course. God. Also, you're probably not gonna find anything if you put like gay oligarch there, because I doubt that they were really like public about it, especially like back home, right? Also, he does have a son that he had with a woman here, and I think he's gay as fuck. I don't think he's like bi or something. I think he's like gay. And so I assume that he probably came out later in life. That's my assumption. By the way, if you've guys seen the comments, Vader, I'm so sorry. You were like alone in that chat with that freak. Yeah. That was genuinely disturbing. I don't know if you guys saw those comments. Ooh. Yuck. Literally breaking out in hives. Girlfriend, stop. I'm kicking him out of the car. Exactly. God. Anyway, but yeah, I was like shocked to see that they're friends with that guy who made that documentary. Anyway. But Lisa, the free market. Exactly. Fuck the free market. What are we gonna do? We have to keep the free market. By free market, we do mean government intervention to use our tax money to bail out corporations. Yeah, how are they gonna survive without that? Without exploiting us? We need to, guys, think about corporations' rights. Think about the rights of corporations. Think about the rights of all those, descendants of Nazis who are believing they're, in the same things. Think about them. Think about all the poor little victims of communism. Divas, I haven't been here for a hot minute. Are you doing well, Lisa? Did I miss something important? I'm okay. I'm just really hot. It's really hot here, and it's not getting like any better. It's like literally every single day it's 30 degrees, which to somebody who grew up in Siberia, it's like a bit much. Other than that, guys, did something happen? Oh, I told a story yesterday on Therapy Speak, if you want to watch that. It is a little bit disturbing. A smidge. Well, not really. I don't know. I honestly can't tell. But it was a fun time. It was more like lighthearted, type of deal. What else happened, you guys? What were we up to? Oh my god, we literally had had those bad years that only having private home saved our family, and that a Ossetian bitch didn't think about investing in poorest region. I honestly don't know anything about that, so I'm just gonna like nod. This stream radicalized me. I'm sorry, it's just fuck. Guys. It's just every day I'm like, why are we negotiating? Why the fuck are we negotiating? Just take it. And oh my god, I'm okay, I'm just really hot. I still need to make my Netflix adaptation worthy breakup story presentation. Oh my god, yes! I'm so excited. You gotta. I really want you guys to start doing more story type of things because I'm really enjoying them. Of course, if you're comfortable with it, obviously. Like, not like... And also, I realize I have such just like horrible memory. Absolutely so bad. I'm like so pissed off that my mom lost the hard drive where all of my pictures and videos are, because I don't know, Divas. I don't know how I'm going to remember anything, and like I need some visual aid from the past to like remember some stories and whatever, because I had like there was so much shit that happened in my life and I can't remember any of it. Like none of it, especially not the details, but the details is what's actually funny about those stories, you know what I mean? Okay, the conversation reminds me of the meme: pimples 0, blackheads is 0, ethical billionaires 0. Exactly. Dude, I should check. Wait, let me see. Instagram. Can you see your likes on Instagram? Extra, extra, read all about it. Do 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 do. Extra, extra, read all about it. Okay, let me see. I actually can't figure out whether like you can actually see your liked posts or not. Oh, go to your activity and settings. Okay.
Settings. Activity. I don't know.
Like and share counts. Like and share counts. Oh. And that's not it. What the heck?
I don't see it.
Maybe on dashboard. I'm doing this from desktop, so that might be why. This stream put me in a good mood. Sometimes things seem impossible, but conversations like this keep me more grounded. Thank you, Lisa. No, seriously, that's how I feel too, because I genuinely, it depresses me when I talk to people about something and they're like, well, what are we gonna do? There's actually a plenty. Because technically speaking, we could just, if we all just decide, we can just take it. There's no need to be negotiating with those mofos. Why should we do that? Lisa, hello. Hi, what the heck? Do you have a Fantasia? A what? What the hell is an aphantasia? They don't have it on desktop? Why? Why would they do such a thing? Like, what am I to do in this situation? What the hell? That's absolutely fucked up, actually. Oh, maybe here. Apps and websites. No. Professional account. No. Notification. No. God damn it. Yeah, we're gonna organize, bitch. The fuck? But no Fed posting. Who said that? Okay. Aphantasia is pretty different. What? Let me look it up. No one's telling me what it is. Aphantasia is inability to voluntarily visualize mental images. Do I have aphantasia? No, I don't. Diva, I'm in the visual arts. What do you mean? How would I even do any of this if I couldn't visualize in my head without struggle?
Extra, read all about it.
What? My mind is pitch black at all times? Aphantasia is blindness of the mind. Like, I have a hard time remembering things from the past because I literally cannot visualize anything. Oh, that's what you're talking about. I was like, why are we talking about that? No, it's the thing is, it's like, I know things happened. It's just the details are not there. And I used to be able to remember it, but the more time passes, the more I'm like, I don't know, I'm like really, really bad at like recollecting things. And then that's why I always have to come up to my mom and be like, Mom, did this happen? Like, if that happened, do you remember anything about it? And then she starts remembering. And sometimes she misremembers things. And I know she's misremembering. Like, it pops into my head. As soon as she says it, I'm like, wait, no, I think it was this, this, and this for that specific part of the story. Like, for example, she would be like, oh, you met this person in like philosophy class, and I would be like, no, I'm pretty sure it was like visual arts class. But if I'm doing it on my own, I can't remember anything. I don't know what it is. I mean, our water services were once publicly owned until Thatcher, the milk snatcher, came along. she privatized our regional water services and electricity grids. Now, Northumbrian Water is privately owned 75% by a Hong Kong billionaire based in Hong Kong. The 25% is a private equity firm in New York. So thanks, Maggie. Thatcher can honestly, by the way, this is how coercive this shit is, right? So you grow up, you start, because I was born quite literally rolled out of the womb being like, men should stop treating us like incubators. Like, I was on that shit immediately. However, when it comes to politics and like understanding all of that shit, obviously I did not arrive there until later in life. Obviously. But I mean, like, until maybe 19 years old or so, when I started to like really understand everything clearly. And basically, I remember that when I moved, I was kind of like, I really wanted to kind of figure out how to be, you know, a success in the future and stuff like that. So I was looking at autobiographies, and that fucking Iron Lady autobiography was everywhere. I was like, I picked it up a couple times and I was like, yeah, like everyone's always like, oh my God, everyone was so afraid of her. She was like so cool and so powerful. And while I was like kind of like, you know, looking through the pages, I was like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, okay, so everyone's this and that, and like she gets to be in those rooms, but I was kind of like confused about her. And I think honestly, so much of my time when I was already ready to be kind of brought into this like material reality analysis world, so much of it was wasted on this cult of personality bullshit that's peddled everywhere. Wherever you go to look for some guidance as to how to be, you know, like successful in some kind of way, right? Hello, Puka. You kind of run into, for example, biographies of people like the guy who made Apple, or biographies of people that are like millionaires or billionaires, biographies of people like Margaret Thatcher. You're basically like artificially pushed into being confused for a few years, where you're like, all the feminists are saying, well, she was a badass. But then you have to go through her entire history to be like, and understand politics of a country that you're not from, like UK, right? To actually understand what the fuck she was up to, and to be eventually to be like, oh my God, that was such a fucking waste of time because I hate this bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much coercion in terms of like wasting of time, where a lot of people, I think, kind of end up doing something that a lot of people do in relationships, where it's like this sunken time fallacy, where you're like, well, I've literally spent so much time reading about this woman and I'm still kind of confused on her, but since everyone is saying that she was a badass, she was like such a feminist icon, that you kind of end up thinking well of her, at least to a certain extent. And then at least that's how she was framed, right? Because clearly she was a right winger, so like that's literally a moot point. However, same thing goes for like Gloria Steinem, for example. You start to actually look into shit and you're like, oh, it's the same thing as like the American like army, whenever, or the Israeli army, they have to do that too. They always talk about how like we have women and we have the gays, and both of them can bomb children just as well as the white man, you know? And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's clearly not what I was looking for, not what I was kind of, what the fuck is happening? Like, since then, I remember that I said something in class and like got like so much flack for it. I was like, genuinely, okay, so what you're telling me is that the Republicans bomb kids and then the Democrats bomb kids but put a rainbow sticker on the bombs. That's what we're doing here. And everyone was like, no, they actually represent whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever, diva. Like, you're just saying anything at this point. My grandfather told me that our water services were once controlled by local authorities, which shocked me. Throughout my life, all I've known is controversy over how they've contaminated our rivers. Fuck. And coastlines. While charging customers more and more, the damage that woman and her class has done to us cannot be understated. Thatcher was one of those women who didn't think women should be part of politics. The Candace Owens or Brett Copper of the 80s. Sure, she had it rough as a woman, but she was trash. Yeah, those people that are using their identity as a means of stripping their own, that same group of people that they are kind of like using the identity of their rights, should be honestly just guillotined. Like, what are we gonna, like, what are we gonna do here? I watched a movie the other night, I assume, where Pinochet and Thatcher were vampires. I honestly don't know much about Pinochet, so I can't say shit, but what movie was that? I'm also upset because I was getting into Riot Girls music. Lots of them were called feminist icons when, after looking up, I discovered they're racist, transphobic cunts. Wait, Riot Girls? I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. I just need to see a visual of them. Wait, what's Riot Girls? Like they didn't. It some kind of Canadian movie comes up when I'm googling it right now. El Conde. El Conde. Oh, that's the movie that you were talking about. Chilean black comedy horror film. Interesting. Oh my god, talking about shows, did you ever watch Dare Girls? It's such a good show. I watched it recently and fell in love. Oh, I love Dare Girls. Really fucking funny. I'm not into you like that. Not into me like that? Look at the state of you. Fucking love that fucking moment. Following the death of former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in April 2013, Ding Dong, The Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz reached number 2 on the UK singles chart. Dairy Girls is the best show in the world. Dude, oh my god, I love Dairy Girls. Exactly. Pink, who are you talking about when you're talking about Riot Girls? I can't find it. Ooh, so fucking hot. I'm like literally, can you guys see how red I am? I'm actually going to get somewhat of a tan at the end of the summer. Horrible. The Miracle Piss episode lives rent-free in my mind. Riot Girls is a band? Let me look it up. Band. Riot Girls, like GRRL or whatever. Underground feminist punk movement that began during the early 1990s. Within the United States, in Washington and the greater Pacific Northwest. Subcultural movement combines feminism, punk music, and politics. It's often associated with third wave feminism. Songs often address issues such as rape, domestic violence, sexuality, racism, patriarchy, classism, anarchism, and female empowerment. Anarchism? What are they, 12? Okay. Every time there's someone who believes in anarchism, okay? Listen, I understand why you would be interested in it. Obviously, it's a leftist ideology, right? However, who if you've never been sick, right? If you've been sick and you still haven't thought about it, why haven't you thought about this? But if you haven't been sick, I'm going to tell you right away, who's going to take care of the disabled? Like, who's going to have the welfare covered if we don't have a state? Like, do you know what I mean? As someone who thinks that, like like who's going to take care of the orphans? How are we going to take care of that? This cannot be resolved by individual acts. It's just not something that could be done. And unless you, like, you have to think about those things, do you know what I mean? Then also, if you're going to have this wild west type of approach, how are you going to, no, the community is not going to do it, because the community is not going to always have the same capacity. This is not like a fairy tale situation. Sometimes you have remote locations. Sometimes you have buildings where the people in the building, it's like an aging population, for example. You have the end goal of communism is stateless anyway. It's not stateless, technically. Well, I guess you could call it that, but I mean, here. You, how do I even, basically, it's not exactly what they mean when they say stateless. I should probably prepare something that explains that part specifically, because honestly, it is kind of hard to conceptualize because it's so far apart from how we live now. However, things like welfare, things like the redistribution from those who have to those that have not, right? All of that stuff, it cannot be done without some kind of state, and especially if you're talking about a world where there are multiple states, right? Because if you're looking at, for example, a country that's existing in the same world as America, right? You cannot have that country exist without America quite literally trying to squash them. So you would have to have a military and stuff like that. It's just kind of like, it's a little bit too much of a voodoo schmoodoo approach to be like, we don't need any of that. It's just gonna get taken care of itself. It's not gonna do that. And also the process of going from one to another, from socialist, from state capitalism to socialism, because you first have capitalism, then you have state capitalism that is a dictatorship of the proletariat, then you have the socialist state, then after that you have the communist state. To get to that last stage, it's literally hundreds of years. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's a long process. However, life already gets really good with, like, China right now is in the second stage. It's transitioning. I believe that their official statements on how the progress is coming along, they're saying that they're going to be able to move into full socialist state in terms of like fulfilling all the points, all the steps of it, by 2050. So it took them like 100 years. It's going to take them 100 years of state capitalism to make sure that they can be really stable and withstand the outside hostility, you know? As a lesbian who went to an all-girls Catholic school all my life, Dairy Girls is so relatable. I was getting into Riot because music and because I heard nice stuff, only to be disappointed by looking up stuff because I wanted to write articles for magazines I'm making as gifts for my sister. I mean, let me see. I'm like looking at their Wikipedia right now. Bikini Kill. Bratmobile. They use their music and publications to express their views on issues such as patriarchy, double standards against women, rape, domestic abuse, sexuality, and female empowerment. Zines, media misconceptions. Okay. Criticism. Riot Girl calls for change, but I question who it's including. I see Riot Girl growing very close to a very few, and they mean white middle class punk girls. Middle class and punk in one is strange. Some have suggested that while Riot Girl bands worked to ensure their shows were safe spaces in which women could find solidarity and create their own subculture, some higher profile Riot Girl bands participated in the Michigan Women's Music Festival, a trans exclusionary event that had Women for Born Women policy. Why are they spelling women with a Y? Like WOMYN. The fuck is that? Former members of Le Tigre, I don't know, bitch, saw protest at their shows for having participated in the festival in 2001 and 2005. However, Kathleen Hanna stated directly that she supported trans rights on her own Twitter account. Additionally, JD Sampson, another former member, is gender fluid. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Everyone is so quiet in the chat. What are you up to there? I'm very suspicious of you people. Okay, so Carrie Brownstein. Don't know who they are, but good for them, I guess. That they're doing something, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Still on my minority oligarchs rabbit hole, and Geffen Label's owner is gay too, so because my region is small, I'm basically related to that Kisaev, and he probably rubbed his shoulders with Geffen. Yeah, probably. They all love each other. They might pretend like they don't, but they do. Oh, you just saw that comment? Yeah. Yeah, that was nasty. And they connect me to Conan and Olivia. Might be my next PowerPoint theme. Phew, divas, holy shit, how hot is it here? I hate it. Where was the chat in 92? Exactly. Exactly. Which comment? Girl. It was on Twitch with some random man. Ugh. Anyone hungry? Yes. Hamburger and fries.
Damn, I want that too. What the heck? And yes, I am hungry, Bruno.
I still, dude, I just remembered. I still, because of Bruno's name being like Bruno's, I like remembered Kuno S. Like when he's like Kuno S from Disco Elysium, and I still cannot believe that I pressed I am your pig. And he's like, what, really? He is my pig? Fuck. Fuck. Literally cannot wait for winter. At least I can think and move in the cold. Exactly. At least I can fucking think when it's cold. Because it's when it's hot, it's just like I lose every single thought while I'm trying to form it. It dissipates. Don't mention it, lol. It was creepy. It was so fucking creepy. I can't watch Game of Thrones without being angry for the peasants. Me too. Me too. That's why I don't watch shit like that, because it's like, oh, you made this fictional world and yet you did all this in it. Like, I don't want to be watching that. Thank you very much. I need to catch up with your Disco Elysium streams. Elitism. I had pierogi today with apple filling. Fuck. I want some too. Why would you say that to me, Diva? Pink. I want some pierogies too. Anyway. Any other topics you wanted me to cover? Anyone? Anyone? I'm being like, I literally feel high from the heat. But like not in a good way. You know, kind of just like, the fuck? Let me see. Maybe I actually had, like, maybe one of the topics is still something I would like to talk about. What is this? X. Oh my god. Did you guys see that post by that woman who was like, if the guy, like, if you're dating a woman that is like like a mask, it's basically like a guy. Like, actually, let me show you. That was so crazy. When I saw it, I was like, what? Why the hell would you, what the, okay, let me show you. You probably saw it. It got so many likes. I'm just sitting there like, you can't be serious. People are that dumb. That's just depressing. Let me see. Let me show you. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Did you guys see it? I feel like you probably have. I mean, yeah, you saw it. Solgi, Yeri, and Irene had dinner together. Yeah, I saw that. Um, Honestly, I don't even remember choosing that name on this account. I always use my middle name because I hate the English pronunciation of the name Bruno. It sounds like bruh, no. Sulky. Oh wait. Also, Lana today gave news. She will have 2 new albums. Stove and Speeda. What? We need to do a presentation about Slavic food when you rank it with us. Exactly, we should do that. I would like to thank the AC unit in my apartment building for my survival. I would be dead otherwise. No, seriously, dude, I'm literally so like tired of this shit. Yes, I saw that and I was angry at it. Lana should try releasing at least 1 good album instead of aiming for 2. Fair. Okay, but why you don't date masc lesbians if they're just same as guys? Exactly. I was like, are you kidding me? We can't hear, thank God. Diva. Oh my God, are you not gonna let me do this? Oh. Diva, let me. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Anyway, all apps are becoming Nazi apps. It's the Nazis that need to be destroyed, Diva. Have you seen the BS about Meta using AI to fire disabled and pregnant employees? Yes. And then there was like this guy who talked about how, he's so right. I don't know why I didn't even fucking think about that, but he was talking about how, when they were talking about AI and how it can determine early on whether there's like, when there's a cell that is malignant, before it like basically fucks up everything, like basically early detection of cancer, right? And he was like, I talked about it a while ago, and he posted it on Twitter maybe 2 years ago or some shit like that. He was like, they're gonna use it, they're not gonna use it to help us, they're actually gonna use it to fire people early, to like avoid having people on medical leave. And then the Meta thing happened, and he was like, yeah, so I said that. One of them was Stove. She's pissing me off with her trad wife bullshit for real. Anyway, but yes, that whole video, this girl goes, okay, genuine question, I just like don't get it. Like, if you are dating a woman and you're a woman and the woman that you're dating looks and like she like dresses like a man and she looks like a man, why not just date a man? Isn't that like the same thing? But wouldn't you want to have the real thing? There's like lack of equipment. There were so many people who were like, oh, like lack of equipment, what, like you never met like a masc before, they have like a whole arsenal of fucking toys and shit. And I'm like, okay, to be honest, that's not even important, because it's kind of the whole point that she's got a different she's got different equipment. I just don't understand, like, how are you how is that confusing? I don't understand. Can they leave my butch and masc girls alone? I'm tired because I see that everywhere. Yeah, I know. Yep, left Twitter years ago. Not that I used it that much to begin with. I mostly hang around Reddit. It has a bad rep, but at least you can keep the Nazis out of a lot of subreddits. Well, Reddit is even more crazy. Early detection sounds great, but I wonder how long it would take for it to become available to the majority of the population. No, they're not going to use it for early detection. They're just going to use it for early detection to fire you ahead of time. So they don't have to be dealing with you being on, medical leave. All the billionaires want us to have UBI, Universal Basic Income. I wonder why. All the billionaires want us to have UBI? I don't think they do. What are you talking about? Wait. I felt almost all social media apps and oh, you've left and moved to decentralized apps, even though I don't have anyone added there. TBH, I thought the stove was Sylvia Plath reference, but it makes it even worse, TBH. The real thing, God, please, not a singular brain cell was involved in that argument. No, not a single one. Oh, this was a girl centering herself, lol. Listen, it's what's worse, not only straight girls say that bullshit, some bi chicks say it too. That's the thing. When they say that, I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think they're bi if that's what they think. Sorry to say, I don't think they're bi if that's how they feel. Is it controversial to say? But I don't think it makes any sense, honestly. And also, like, I was just sitting there like, it's kind of the same thing as I've talked about with people like encouraging bombing and not being able to like understand that they wouldn't want to be bombed, you know, if they were in the same situation. It's the same fucking thing where it's like, why is it so hard for you to flip it? Do you understand what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just date a man? I don't know, why wouldn't you just date a woman then? If it's the same thing. If you're especially if you like guys who like to dabble in like feminine aesthetics or in androgyny, or you like really pretty boys, why not just a mask then? Suddenly you understand. Suddenly they understand. Suddenly they're like, oh, but it's still a woman though. Oh yeah, isn't that crazy? Fuck. Like, why does that even need to be said? It's like, it's something that you might think and be curious about if you're 5. Like, if you're 5 and you're at a playground and you see 2 moms of one of the kids and you go, well, one of the moms looks like a guy, why would she be married to a woman then, instead of a guy, you know? Yeah, if you're 5 you can ask that. But this woman, Diva, you're 30 or something along those lines. What do you mean? Like, I and also someone was like, they were like talking about it and I'm like, that's kind of the whole fucking point. They were like, oh, there's, you know, doesn't have the equipment. They don't have like whatever it is, dude. It's like, that's kind of the whole fucking point. Also, oh, I said that to somebody. I was like, yeah, also masculinity is kind of like this masculine attitude or outfits are kind of annoying on men, but they're hot on women. So I don't know what to tell you. I have beef with Lana for her association with that Chrome Church or whatever the fuck it's called, weird stuff. It is yeah. First of all, second of all, also her husband being like this. Yeah, she's just like, she says she's an anarchist. A registered anarchist, by the way. That's so funny. I was like crying, laughing. And registered? Okay, dude, whatever. At this point, I have beef with, and by the way, it's like, I'm still getting right-wing vibes from you, Diva. I don't know what to tell you. No, I don't know a whole sexuality, but people sometimes overplay homo feelings because they get more emotional attention. Emotional attention? How so? I mean, there's a lot of bi that are still pretty male-centered. Say this as bi lady, especially when they are in relationships with guys. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people who are male-centered and I just don't understand that because like, yeah, like, I mean, I understand it. Again, if you're a kid, I get it, because we're pushed into it. We're socialized that way. We're definitely pushed into it, very aggressively so. But as an adult, it's like, how do you even focus? Like, how do you even seriously, like, take it seriously and like, we have bigger issues, Diva. We're being cooked alive. Who gives a fuck? No, seriously, dude. Why no man in the frame if she loves him so much? Exactly. Where is your man then? A man is a man. A woman is a woman. LOL. Also, people still don't understand that masc does not equal man. Yeah, you know. Also, someone was like talking about like, I think someone masc was talking about how, like, oh, like, don't treat me like a man or something like that. And I was just like thinking to myself, I just saw a video like that, right? I was just like, I don't even treat men as men. Because what would that even entail? Some kind of performance of like, what exactly? Not to brag, but I pulled an emotionally unavailable masc who is also a millennial who hates Gen Z. Now I'm confident I can pull literally anyone. I'm just that hot. Wait, what do you mean pulled if they're emotionally unavailable? Did they stick around? What are we what's with that exactly? Being male-centered can look like prioritizing masculinity as what is valuable versus what they're looking for. Yeah. It's crazy because I got bullied so much as a kid for having a feminine monotone voice. I was being called gay before I even knew I was gay. Fuck. Lana wants to be so unique, but it's just weird. The album covers that she shared are also weird. I haven't seen them. Registered anarchist, LOL. Isn't that the complete opposite of what it means to be an anarchist? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how long it will take until I make another horror story breakup presentation. Oh wait, are you seeing her now? Like, you're dating now. The emotionally unavailable masc. What are we talking about? I gagged. We're talking about this girl on TikTok that was like, if masc woman, why, if you date masc woman, why not just man? So so, you know, the age-old question that everyone's always asking. And the thing is, that video, I don't know how many likes it has now, but it was at like 1.3 million at some point, and I was like, seriously, people? You can't be that confused. You can't seriously be that confused. Whatever. I'm waiting for the responses, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up. It's so hot. I can't fucking deal. I'm so tired of these people bullshit. So many people buy into these ideas, or the idea that if your man is misogynistic, he's gay. Like 1 + 1 does not equal 3. Yeah. Sometimes they're just misogynist. With this girl though, someone was talking about it. They were like, to that girl who said that, and to all the people who liked it, I might have news for you, because if you genuinely don't see a difference, you might be fruitier than you think. And that is true, because if genuinely you look at them and you're like, actually, like both, perchance you do. Perchance you just do. But I think that she was kind of like, why not the real thing? Come on. So I assume that kind of takes it back into just being homophobic. Do you know what I mean? The boiling alive bit reminded me of that Russian meme of two grandmas going doing a hydro massage with a text, respect grandmas, they're being boiled alive and they don't give a fuck. No, but if Stove is really Sylvia Plath reference divas, not after the news about movie adaptation. What was the news there? I think it's also possible they're just not smart enough to apply the rule to themselves. No, that's what I'm thinking. Because again, just can't fucking imagine themselves in someone else's shoes, which is just so crazy. Like it's not that difficult. Just flip it in your head. Would you, as a straight, date a woman because she's dressed masculine? No? Then why are you asking stupid questions? Like genuinely, I think the only way this could be a legit question that is respectable is if you're asking as a 5-year-old. Like this is your first time encountering this and you've never been attracted to anyone before, you don't have your own experience to apply to anything, so you're asking a question. That's the only way this could work. Sometimes I think back to that one spell Icy cast in one of the movies where she made it rain snowflakes that froze whatever they touched. Especially need that right now. Oh my god, me too. Billie Eilish and the guy from Heated Rivalry are in the upcoming... Oh! Okay. I don't think they would be a good fit for any of the characters in that, though. So, the experiences I've had with many stray guys, you'd think I was joking. And the fruitier than they think is like those transphobes who say a trans man will never be a woman. Fruitier than they think is like those transphobes who say a trans man will never be a woman. Oh dear. What? I'm confused. Wait, Melita. Is the emotional unavailable mask the one that you're seeing right now? Is that what it is? Because you said, let's see how long it will take until I make another horror story breakup presentation. I'm still waiting for the response, Diva. I thought they were joking when they announced that cast. Because I know that they haven't like announced it because like they didn't say which characters it would be even like the casting is for, but I just kind of feel very confused about it, I guess, because I don't think it makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? As a bi girly, I've honestly not met a lot of bisexuals that center males or that are not extremely aware that the men they would like are not a lot. I saw a video today where a man was talking about people who block you actually love you because they need to block you to be away from you. And I cackled at how ridiculous and delusional of a thought that was. I mean, I'm sure that there are people who like don't want to be seeing you for whatever reason. Like it's not just disliking you, but I think that if he means strangers, definitely just disliking you, no? If not strangers, I don't know, I would just take it as disliking, just because why would I take it as anything else, right? Yeah, I was like, why would Billy play a racist bitch and Heated Rivalry guy, the Russian one, would play the most icky religious sexist man alive who is also sick with tuberculosis? Diva, I don't know. If I end up passing well at some point, you won't be seeing me anywhere near straight men unless I get... Oh, passing well. Oh, I'm like, passing? What do you mean you're gonna be passing? Me thinking about passing away. I'm like, Diva, what? Since when? Unless I get lucky and find one that's a decent person, I don't feel like dying after they do start to say, yeah... I mean, also T4T exists, right? And that's a lot more, like, safer. a lot more safe. Sorry. Yes, Diva, what do you think I was doing this week when I didn't come to the streams, LMAO? I don't know, your life. He was talking about a man who he went on 3 dates with. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. I doubt that it's... Honestly, the thing is, it doesn't really matter, does it? What does it matter? Whether they're, like... If they're blocking you for one reason or another, whether they are looking at your story for one reason or another, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything. Let me schedule my passing. Just came back. Who is this lady? Yeah, don't even worry about it, Diva. Don't even worry about this lady. No need to worry. The question is, will we get a video of that He-Man movie with the Nick Galitzin with Lisa and Bassistin? Off topic, but burning question. We were planning on it, but again, Bassistin, she's driving me nuts. Like, well, not nuts, but you know what I mean? Like, I wish I didn't have to be chasing her around. It's too tiring because I'm not that strong. There must be a valid reason for me to skip the streams. Oh. Yes. Just so you guys know, if I ever pull a mask, I'm not going to be disappearing from the streams. You can rest assured. She's going to have to wait. But yes, I'm gonna go because I am literally melting. Live, laugh, love Nicholas Galitzin. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking hot. It's ridiculous. It's just like, when will this end? I can't. I keep looking at the forecast and it keeps telling me that it's going to be 30 degrees. I hope the mask in question will visit the streams. Who knows? You know, I seem to attract people who don't want to show their face. Anyone who has been showing up anywhere on any of my channels, have you noticed none of them are showing their face? I don't know what's with me. Not like certain someone. Not like certain someone. Ah. Dude, I'm so slow in this weather. I literally had to read it 3 times to get it. But we saw Omar's face. Okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. Omar. Okay. Yeah, manifesting Lisa and Matt's girlfriend. Oh my god. Melita. Corky for Lisa summoning circle. Oh my god. Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, empty LMAO, not the persistent chain. Because she's just cheating on us somewhere out there. We both know it. Both know it. But not both. Me saying both, there's like, what, 30 of us? Outmocked by Lisa. Yes, I hope you're gonna have a good sleep if you're going to bed. Hope you're having a great day. If you are just dilly-dallying around, yeah, I'll see you guys soon. What the heck? Bye. Let me play us out.
Okay. Bye.
I'm persistent.